So parents, unfortunately, just because something is marketed as kid-friendly, it doesn't mean it's kid-friendly. Even things that we may have read as a kid, watched as a kid, TV shows, books, movies, as an adult and as a parent, you're going to want to check them out again from a brand new lens, because lots of the things that we saw or things that maybe we just automatically will think are going to be kid-friendly, they aren't always. Here's some classic examples. So let's start with Hop on Pop. Hop on Pop is one of these early learner books that you'll see probably in any store, but it is really violent. You wouldn't think so, and I don't mean because of the characters jumping on their father, but you'll see in a second. It's supposed to be simple, easy, teach kids how to rhyme and sight read, but what it doesn't tell you is that it's going to teach your kid to beat up their sibling or someone else. I mean, look, it literally is showing the characters hit each other with tennis rackets or some sort of racket. And it specifically says, day play, we play all day, fight night, we fight all night. Fight night for kids? No, not okay. So then the next one says, he, me, he is after me. Him, Jim, Jim is after him. And as you'll see, this is an animal attacking a little boy, and then an even younger boy biting the tail of the animal and looking pretty angry. Yeah, violent. The next one is Horton Hatches the Egg. Now, Horton, we always know, is that fun little lovable kind elephant, but this book, this really took me off guard. It actually says on this page, 3 rifles were aiming straight at his heart. And it shows the hunters literally with their rifles. And that's on multiple pages that you see these hunters with their guns aimed directly at him. And then when he still stays on his egg, then they kidnap him in some made up cage that they've created and basically bring him across the ocean against his will. And it says that he's crying as they do this, which is a little bit reminiscent of the transatlantic slave trade. Didn't really make me feel comfortable. Guns, then captivity, kidnapping in a children's book? No. Sorry, Dr. Seuss. You missed the mark with this one. On Beyond Zebra. This is one that I really honestly hadn't heard of, but I got it, and then as I'm reading it, I realized that it said, and the bullet you shoot is a stale navy bean that you've dumped for 3 weeks in old sour kerosene. Literally, bullets in kerosene? And we're teaching this to kids? We're reading this to a child? This is supposed to be a kid's book? Nope. Going on the shelf. The next one is I Can Lick 30 Tigers Today. And when they're talking about licking, they don't mean like a Tootsie Pop. They literally mean fighting. So the character's sole purpose is to go and bully tigers and try to fight them. And then it actually makes it clear where it says, just wait for me here. I'll beat you up right after lunch. I mean, really? Are we really teaching our kids to beat up animals and things like that? Totally not okay. This one actually has multiple stories. And in it, another story is The Glunk That Got Thunk. And in it, the girl is actually telling the monster, hey, please don't use my phone. My dad can afford that. You're running up our bill. So after she tells the monster that she can't afford the call, her dad is going to go broke, and she's begging him, please, please, stop, stop. He says, now you keep still. The glunk snapped back, and he kicked her in the shin. So you literally have this huge monster who is a male kicking this little girl character. I mean, come on. Literally male on female violence. Violence, period, is not okay. But the way it looks, it's almost like a grown man hitting a little girl. That's not okay. Definitely not something I want to be teaching my child. And the last one is I had trouble in getting to Salo Salo. Again, I had never heard of this one, but reading it, I was definitely concerned. So in a few pages, it mentioned a bullet, it mentioned a shooter, and then there is a part where after the guy is literally running for his life because he's about to be killed, he says, I had terrible trouble in staying alive. I mean, literally, this is the stuff that you're going to have to explain to your child if you're reading to them. And lots of times we're reading them bedtime stories. Do we really want to read them this? I don't think so. Now, there's definitely some honorable mentions that I can mention in another video and talk about why I'm really uncomfortable with reading them to my child, such as like A Cat in the Hat, where they have a stranger entering their home. Really strange. Even though we grew up reading those things, definitely not okay. But these ones were the most egregious that I came across, where it was actually blatant violence, and the violence was actually depicted between them hitting each other with objects, between guns and bullets and Molotov cocktails, basically, by saying they're dipping bullets in kerosene. I mean, these are children's books. This is Dr. Seuss here. So again, parents, please make sure before you get any book or let your child watch any movie, anything like that, that you are reading through the book, you're watching the movie first, even if it's something from your childhood, because you may not have recognized it then, but now you're looking at it with a new lens as you're a parent. So just be aware. And if you're interested in this type of content, please be sure to follow me and also check out my podcast, purposeinparenting.com. Thank you so much.